It's the AOH podcast. I'm still stuck on the Grant Williams LeBron thing. It's actually a really important topic, and had some LeBrontosaurus fans resort to trying to insult me as a retaliation to me showing undeniable reality of what LeBron looks like on the basketball court. And I started going off. Usually I just ignore them. I mean, you can't fix stupid, and they're most likely children. So, anyways, right now I'm listening to some Sonny Rollins in the headphones, chilling out. Let's just learn from other people's stupidity. Because you see, there's a blatant double standard when it comes to LeBron James. LeBron fans will flip-flop worse than a politician when someone stands up to LeBron and LeBron doesn't like it, and LeBron throws a forearm to the throat. And I say, hey, that would be a technical if it was anyone but LeBron. Then LeBron fans are like, oh, I thought you guys liked it physical. Let's go over dirty play, toughness, and bitch play, because they're not the same thing. And it's pretty sad, and it speaks volumes about the problem inherent here when it has to be explained to you the difference between being tough and being dirty. Being dirty is what you resort to when you're not actually tough. And LeBron's supposed toughness depends upon the league protecting him. LeBron's supposed toughness depends upon this set of rules that says LeBron is allowed to initiate contact and seek physical style play as long as no one is physical back. Just take it. Just take the abuse. So when I compliment Grant Williams for saying, hey, you know what? If your strategy is coming in here for an easy bucket, well, guess what? I'm going to take a shit on that strategy, which has been a strategy in basketball since the beginning and then has disappeared in recent years while you guys celebrate the amazing feat of NBA basketball players being able to dunk in wide open lanes. Hey, Hack-a-Shack existed for a reason. If LeBron wants to feed upon layups and LeBron sucks at the free throw line, it's only the logical, intelligent, strategical thing to do to foul him. And if anyone thinks that Grant Williams wrapping him up like that was dirty, that was a lot better than if he stood there and crossed his arms in front of him with his shoulders slightly extended so that LeBron ran into that brick wall. I mean, wrapping him up and backpedaling was way kinder. Just acknowledge that LeBron loves to back his ass and shoulder and forearm into defenders and do it repeatedly. Smash, 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 until he's finally close enough to rise up over the dude that he was already bigger than in the first place. This guy wants all the perks of being a bully and doesn't want anyone to stand up to the bully. I have an example from recent history in my own life that I think is important to this topic. And let me say up front, I'm not here to call myself a tough guy or anything like that, but I'm not afraid of contact. I'm not a big dude, but I'm not afraid of contact. And this day and age of LeBron basketball, it's inevitable that some big dude is going to try and use his weight and lower his shoulder, create that initial shoulder bounce off, and then complete it with the forearm shiver, like we're playing an entirely different sport, and call that an offensive move. So I played it the way that people today think you're supposed to play it, and backpedaled with my arms in the air as he blasted forward. And he was very proud of that. So the next time he came in, I just braced myself and made him run into a solid object. Now, granted, he's bigger than me, but he had to experience what running into somebody actually feels like. And interestingly enough, he didn't come in the lane anymore. To clarify, I'm not going to shove him. I'm not going to do anything illegal. I'm just going to make him know what it feels like for there to be a body in the way. It's very possible that he could have continued to do it and score on me. The point is that he chose not to come in anymore. He probably could have kept scoring on me if he chose to keep driving. But the point is, he didn't want to drive anymore. You know, call a foul on me. Great. Whatever. You know, if me standing my ground is illegal, okay. Your ball. It worked. Because he stopped driving the lane. That's a pussy-ass bitch. He's bigger than me. Just like LeBron is bigger than everyone. And as soon as there's a little resistance, either he stops coming in or everybody says, oh, no, that's not okay. And this is exactly why this talk about LeBron being a boxer or being in the NFL is an offensive, ludicrous joke. That dude does not want actual contact. He wants to initiate contact on the terms of a league that protects him. All right, so let's have a special moment and call out a few of these brawn people. One dude called me little man. Well, I'm not the biggest dude, but as I just said, it's the size of the fight in the dog that matters a little bit more. And when a little person stands up to a big person, that's considered tougher than what LeBron does, which is just pick on little people. So call me little man if you'd like. I have a feeling that you are a complete bitch. Which leads me to Andrew Koch, 1246. You think people are lining up to take a charge from a 250-pound James, much less do so every time he drives the ball? And then he insults basic basketball intelligence for not understanding that. Well, I have some news for you. The job description doesn't say get out of the way when it's convenient. The job description doesn't say don't play defense if the guy's bigger than you. You fucking pussy-ass bitch. And that's why the NBA sucks. It's all this Olay basketball. In case you didn't get it, you are still supposed to take a charge, even if the guy's bigger than you. That's called being tough, you fucking cunt. It's called doing your job, you goddamn spoiled bitch. Grant Williams, by the way, is still 20 pounds lighter than LeBron James, which is about as close as it gets to being in LeBron's weight category. And LeBron was still bigger than him. So good for you, Grant Williams. Good for you for not conceding the lane the way apparently this dipshit would have. Wow, there are a lot of dumb comments here. Mostly, again, I don't know how many times we have to call this out. You guys being so stupid as to not understand that saying hater is not an argument. It's a cop-out, lazy, mindless method, which just proves that you actually have nothing to say. And then more of the hypocrisy of pretending that being tough and being dirty are the same thing. Oh, Black Jesus is a jewel, though. I got to include Black Jesus. Williams was being a nuisance and intentionally standing in LeBron's way. How dare he? How dare a defender be in front of the offensive player? Doesn't he understand it's your duty to get out of LeBron's way? LeBron didn't even have the ball. And Williams was several feet in front of LeBron. I mean, LeBron had every opportunity to go a different direction, ever so slightly. Now, you might argue back, well, why should LeBron have to move? Yes, how dare he? Now, I'm sure you're arguing in your tiny little mind, well, why should LeBron have to move? Yes, a great big wide open court and someone's in front of you. Why on earth would you make the effort to sidestep him? Save your pride. You are LeBron James. Go right through him. Go right through him. How dare a defender be in front of him? I mean, do you even hear what you're saying? Go back and read your comment a few times, or have someone else read it to you, or whatever's necessary for your illiterate asses. And then go look yourself in the mirror and cry for a while. He literally just said that the problem was Williams was standing in front of LeBron. You fucking idiot. Again, LeBron wasn't dribbling. There wasn't even an option of it possibly being a blocking foul. Let's not lose sight of the fact that LeBron is the one who extended arms and felt he had the right to shove. Let's pretend for one weird multiverse moment that it isn't allowed to be in front of somebody. Well, would any other player be allowed to use both arms to shove the other person out of the way? No, only LeBron. Not once, but twice on the same play. And as far as your complete bullshit justification that Grant Williams grabbed LeBron with two hands, and therefore LeBron hit his punk ass with a bow to the throat. Okay, so now you're complimenting that LeBron threw an elbow to somebody's throat, and it's okay. It's okay. Again, the hypocrisy, the double standard. Who the fuck else can get away with that? And secondly, you're wrong. You know, I showed both camera angles. Grant Williams just took the chest bump, took the ramming, and then LeBron put his hands up, and Grant Williams put his hands up in return, gently down at LeBron's waist, while LeBron went to the throat and head. There was not a retaliation to Grant Williams touching LeBron. No, that's LeBron and his tiny little dick and his incredible insecurity being like, don't make me look bad. I've got the ref on my side. I can shove you in the throat and nothing will happen to me. Well, Black Jesus, thank you for entertaining us with your stupidity. Oh, and here's Aesthetics coming at me with that. The second camera angle shows. Goddamn, dude, you fucking moron. I showed all the camera angles in slow motion. So one guy says that LeBron threw the elbow to Williams's throat because Williams deserved it. And the next guy says he barely even scuffed him. Are we saying that it's the amount of contact to the throat that judges whether or not this was a sportsmanship-like act? Again, no one else would be allowed to do this. I think that's the most important thing. Whether you guys want to argue that they should be able to play through physicality, that this era is soft, or that the old era was soft, the key is consistency. The key is not letting LeBron do whatever he wants and play by a different set of rules. That's what has everybody upset. Of course, except for you, spoiled brat children who are accustomed to him being allowed to do whatever he wants. All right, well, can't waste too much time on you guys, but thank you again for entertaining us with your stupidity. I think it's worth mentioning that I try to be consistent. I'm sure I'm not perfect, but if the Warriors pull some bullshit, I call them out on it. If the refs, even Steve Kerr, I called out. The announcers, I called out. The local radio station, I call out. I'm not interested in any sort of bias that further encourages this ridiculous behavior of today's NBA players. And the Warriors organization at this point is dysfunctional. They're making it very hard to be a fan. I don't have any horses in this race, you know? I don't have my money riding on anyone. The only horse I have in this race is the game of basketball. Okay, so let me correct that statement. I have one horse in this race. There's one thing I care about, and that is the sport of basketball, not individual players, the sport of basketball. That's why myself and others are angry. It's all about accountability. We could apply this blame game to Braun fans. I could blame your parents for raising you poorly. I could blame the genetics for making you weak-minded and susceptible to brainwashing. But ultimately, it's up to you to think better. It's up to you to actually look at evidence and choose to see it and think critically rather than desperately backpedal back and forth and flip-flop in order to continue your delusion. I said it before, I'll say it again. LeBron could score 1 billion points and do it all in an incredible manner, and none of that would change the reality of his behavior. None of that would change the stain he has left on this league. So stop talking about whether or not he scores points.